Even if you're at work and you're not physically running from a tiger, if you're stressed enough in your head, your body doesn't know the difference. When you're in a sympathetic state, if a tiger was chasing you, you shut down your digestion. You don't need that right now. It's like all goes to, how do I run away and survive? People are sort of stuck in this survival stress state. That's where they start getting digestion issues as well. That maybe inhibits your core muscles to fire as well, and you get low back pain. You can see how it snowballs into...
He's a CHEK professional, and he was a former pro bodyboarder. Here we go. Do you use them with clients a lot?
Yeah, so this is an exercise.
Really?
Yeah.
Because a main part of the CHEK studies is core strength, right?
Yeah, trunk core stability, yep, definitely.
Did you do a course for it, or what? How do you?
Yeah, so IMS1, which is Integrated Movement Science. Level 1, you can go all the way up to level 4 and 5, where you go to see Paul CHEK in America for level 5, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. How far did you do it?
I've only done level 1, so I'm still learning, yeah.
That's so cool. Exciting.
Yeah.
Still many things, the feeling of like learning and everything.
Yeah, so much. Like,
so good.
It's so holistic the way he pieces it all together, so it's like, I feel like you can just keep going deeper and deeper.
Because I've been learning a bit more about holisticness, and that is getting it from within, right, to solve problems. And because what is the meaning for you for like holistic?
Yeah, it's like being whole, basically. So I think a problem for a lot of people is they treat the disease, not the person. So it's more about creating an environment that's healthy from inside the foundation, and then it's more of a prevention sort of strategy, if that makes sense. So,
I like that. I like preventing better than having a problem and then needing to take that off and resolve it.
Yeah.
Is that where then the 6 core principles came in?
Yeah.
Can you tell me which those are?
Part of it. So the 6 health foundation principles are thinking, breathing, hydration, sleep, movement, and nutrition. So yeah, they're kind of like 6 really basic fundamental things that you'll probably die if you don't have them or get them in some sort of balance. So really simple, but also very effective. If you can just get a balance of those, it's going to help you a lot, I think, anyway.
Which of the 6 core principles do you think most people like neglect the most?
Oh, good question. It varies a lot person to person. I guess nutrition would be up there. Diet is a tough one for a lot of people. It's just in the world we live in the Western world, it's just so much bad foods hidden into all your foods and sugars and seed oils. And so if you want to like really eat organic, clean, whole foods, you have to like put a bit of effort in and go to local farmers markets and sort of.
Because with your clients or with yourself, have you seen a situation or do you have a story of someone that changed their food or their nutrition that made a big change or that helped more into their life?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more of a factor than people think. And that's sort of why I got into the CHEK stuff a lot. I've known it for years from my brother and we've practiced it ourselves in our own life. But after massaging for over 5 years and getting results with clients, but then they come back again and it's sort of like a Band-Aid fix a lot of the time. They're like, oh, I feel good for 2 weeks, and then it sort of comes back again. And the low back pain's like on and off, on and off.
Like anyone that goes to physio and that just thinks that he has to solve everything and then not does the exercise at home.
Exactly.
Like what I always did as well.
Exactly, yeah. So that's where like I started even trying to basically give people the 6 foundations on a little piece of paper and just sort of said, hey, look, if you can work on these with the treatments, it's going to help a lot.
Okay, but does it start with clarifying, or where do they usually start to understand the 6 principles and see where they can change something in their lives?
Yeah, so I guess that's the hard part. It can be too much for people at first. It's like change your diet, start drinking different water, improve your sleep. Like it's just too much at once for some people. So I think the best way is to like start small and just pick one, maybe just pick water. Okay, I'm going to try and source some local spring water or get a good filter and put a pinch of sea salt in there and just try and drink 2 liters of water a day, or whatever the amount is right for them. That's about right for me. And just see how I feel from that. Then go from there and you're like, oh, I am feeling a little better, a little less inflamed, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you can start small and then work into more and more. And yeah.
Do you usually start with one of the principles that is most lacking and then start with that one, or?
Yeah, so with the CHEK system, it helps a lot since I've done that, because we get them to fill out a few questionnaires that give us an idea of like their lifestyle, basically. So stress, digestion, food, sleep, all of those things. So they answer like a big list of questions and they have a score at the end of each one. And then you get an idea of like, okay, this person's pretty high with stress, but nutrition pretty good, you know. So then you have a bit of a plan when they come in, and then you discuss it with the client and sort of start to break down little goals that are going to be the first action point for them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can understand that it's quite overwhelming with all the different parts, especially if you want to start. You can only focus on one thing at a time, right?
Exactly.
So with the process where you help these people, you also use goal setting in there as well, right? That was part of it.
Yeah.
Is that then goal setting aligned with these 6 principles, or?
Yeah, so it's sort of, you got to find or help guide them to find their big goal or dream, or their one love that's going to be enough of a motivator to help them make these little changes. So without that, you're probably not going to do your exercise program. You probably, you know, you need that.
The drive, the desire, sort of.
Yeah. So that's a big part of the initial assessment too. We sort of discuss that and try and guide them to draw out like, okay, what do you want out of this, basically? And then you can start to go into that. But that's where it gets tricky. Like, I'm not a psychologist, so I'm still practicing with that too. But the better you can get at guiding them for that, the better chance they have of creating change. And
is that because of
their goal?
If their desire, like the goal, you know it, and they know it, they're more willing to like do then the actions that will help them to get there. Or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So with these 6 principles, can you tell me about a time when you made a shift in your own life on one of these that had like the biggest impact on you?
Yeah, so I learned all of this when I was 15, like really young. And I had no injuries or anything really, but I went and saw a CHEK practitioner and just wanted to get even better with my bodyboarding at the time. Just wanted like to be better at performance, basically.
Yeah.
So I learnt all these, but through my early 20s and that, I definitely disregarded them. So yeah, drinking, partying, whatever, eating shit food, lived in different places, and like, yeah, sort of abused my body, you could say. So I think in those phases when I would come out of them and be like, okay, I'm feeling kind of shit here, what's going on? I'd always fall back on those 6 health foundation principles, maybe go and see a CHEK practitioner or mentor and sort of, okay, what's my goal again? Like, let's get back on track. And for me, probably the diet and water, just the simplest ones, but the diet can be hard. Just getting in the routine of shopping at organic local markets and like getting good at creating meals and learning about what foods work for you. That's the tricky part. It's like there's no one diet that's good for everyone. So I'd say that it's taken me years and I'm still doing it. Always sort of like you eat some food, even if it's a healthy one, it's like, oh, I feel a bit weird from that. So maybe cut that out or... Yeah, so I'd say just getting my diet and water has probably been the biggest difference to me. There was no like crazy story of like it helped me through sickness or anything, but I've noticed that over the years, definitely. Yeah.
But in the beginning, you were using it then because you were a pro bodyboarder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was for that you needed to have physical attributes and get your mind right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that is probably one of the biggest differences actually. Like the way they all interact with each other. So if you get the food and water right, it helps with your mind and clarity, and then you start, you know, not thinking so negative or not as much self-hate talk. And yeah, it really, they all sort of, once you get a balance and get them all going good, the better they all go together.
Is it the first layer then, like these 6 principles, they bring you up to then, like first get those right, and then they help you with your mind and just be in a good state to then like think, act, and get to your goals, right? Because I remember reading something about mindset in the CHEK profession as well.
Yeah, well,
Philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where like I'd maybe refer someone out to a psychologist if I thought they needed that. But yeah, the thing Paul's done so well is like he's, in my opinion, done the best of bringing a holistic health practice together. And then you may need to be like, okay, you need more work in this area, and refer them out to a specialist in that area. But yeah, it's huge. The mindset, if you can't control that and it's constantly negative talk, reacting emotions trapped in your body, you're not going to get far if you don't sort of deal with that. So,
because just to get it right, the 6 principles were you have eating, your nutrition, hydration, sleep, movement,
thinking,
and what was the 6th one?
breathing.
And breathing.
Yeah.
But they all come and talk about the body, right? Except thinking then. So it's like to get your body in a state of
basically
health, essentially.
Yeah, it gets the foundation of your health. So those 6, if you can get them in balance, you're gonna set yourself up to be, your body's in an environment that you can thrive better, basically.
Because do you know what the goal was for him to understand all of this and bring this together? Like,
yeah, I think he just wanted the world to be healthier and wanted that to be normal. Especially, he's from America, so there's a lot of sickness and troubles there with the medical system, and sort of you can see the health of America. So like, it's been a passion of his for I don't know how long, over 40 years he's been helping people with this, and just traveled around the world his whole life and dedicated to studying with all the best people in every field. And then he's brought together
to understand it, and with the goal to just help heal, essentially, but not from the problem, but from like
empower the client to learn about their own body, and they take responsibility. That's the main thing. Yeah,
that's cool.
Because it's always like, if you get a massage or you go to the doctor, it's like them fixing you all the time. Whereas he's like, no, you need to learn how to maintain your own health, basically.
Yeah, assess yourself.
Yeah. And then hopefully you won't have to pay so much money to all doctors and things, and you just get it on track yourself.
Where does someone start if they want to like use the 6 principles in their own life?
I would say start small. Like I said before, just read through the 6 and just sort of feel into your body like, okay, which one of those is most out of balance for me?
Yeah.
And maybe just start with that one. You can buy How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy, which is Paul Chek's book. Really good book, which basically he's like simplified everything down as best he can. And you can read through that and sort of go through questionnaires and learn how to do everything through that. So that's a good way to do it if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I'd just pick one that feels out of balance, research it, look up some stuff of like how to get that in balance, and start there. Just start small.
Start with one thing at a time.
I think so, yeah. You can dive in and do all of them if you want. It depends on the person.
Yeah,
it can be a bit too much though.
But you have to keep track of like how it's going as well, your progress, and it can be a bit much then, right?
Yeah.
Do you give any tips to keep track of the progress, or keep track of like what works, what doesn't work, or how they have to adjust and when they should adjust?
Just listen to your body. Like you have to, which is hard. Like you don't want that for the answer, but it always is really like, instead of like always looking for the answer outside of yourself, Eat the food and be like, actually pay attention to how it makes you feel, or drink the right amount of water and good clean water and see if it makes a difference. And
Because then with thinking, can you tell me about a specific moment when you can be more aware of that, and what do you have to be aware of thinking?
I guess like common for this day and age is like monkey mind, burnout, stress, too many thoughts, working long hours, 5-6 days a week. So for most people, it's usually how to get them to calm down and do an energy in and basically calm their mind down through breathing practices. And
So the thinking and breathing are sort of connected then.
yeah, exactly. And with all of them, it's like, is there too much or not enough? So it's like, find the balance as well.
If there's too much or not enough.
So like, are you eating too much or not enough, or eating the wrong stuff or good stuff? Or too much water, not enough water. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like just balance, yin yang, whatever you want to call it. Find the balance in all 6.
And in essence, the goal would be at the end to understand yourself, but then yourself in the aspects of like your food intake, what works for you, how much rest you need to recover, how to think well to keep sort of in a sort of a mental state. Because what do you know about anxiety and how stress can cause many problems, right? Because stress can cause a whole bunch of things. What are some of those things that it can cause?
Yeah, so first of all, it affects your breathing. So you're going to be breathing up into the chest when you're stressed, usually, breathing through the mouth potentially as well. And that can cause postural issues and muscle pain, for one, because you're using your scalenes and upper neck muscles to lift the rib cage to breathe because you're so stressed. Whereas you want to be breathing with the diaphragm, which will calm you down, breathing through the nose. You can't digest food when you're in a sympathetic nervous system state. So your body's not digesting or repairing or healing. So even if you're at work and you're not physically running from a tiger, if you're stressed enough in your head, your body doesn't know the difference. And it's in a state that when you're in a sympathetic state, if a tiger was chasing you, you shut down your digestion. You don't need that right now. It's like all goes to, how do I run away and survive?
Yeah.
So people are sort of stuck in this survival stress state. That's where they start getting digestion issues as well. So you can see how it all, and then maybe you get issues in the gut, and then that maybe inhibits your core muscles to fire as well, and then you get low back pain, and it's like you can see how it snowballs into.
All right.
You end up with a slipped disc, but did it start with, I was too stressed, and then that wrecked my gut, and then that inhibited my core muscles, and then my back blew out because of that. It's like,
so it started from stress, and stress caused your body, your digestion,
potentially,
breathing, potentially.
Usually, like pain's like a long story.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my clients are like, I don't know how it happened, but now my shoulder just hurts. And usually it's like, okay, well, for 5 years you've been, not eating as good and this and that, and then it's slowly wearing and tearing, and then one day it's like
it builds up.
It's too much, and then bang, it starts getting pain.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But then the one thing that is in the 6 foundational principles was thinking. Mm-hmm. And is thinking then just above like where stress is?
Yeah, so he simplified it down to the 6, and the higher you go through it, the more in depth he goes.
Yeah.
So he also has a thing called the totem pole, which is sort of a hierarchy of what the body finds most important. So the psyche's at the top, then breathing, then vision, then jaw, then the upper neck, organs. So your body will prioritize the health of those before your knee, ankle, elbow, wrist. So if there's an issue in your organ, for example, the body will prioritize blood flow to that, nervous energy to that, because it's like, okay, that's more important for us to live. That might shut down some muscles around that area, and then you get hip pain and you might hurt your knee or something like that. The body doesn't care about that. It can keep limping If an organ shuts down, you're dead. So
Yeah,
and
that
then
makes sense.
the psyche's at the very top because I haven't learned this enough, but
Yeah.
I guess
Continue.
at the end of the day, you could kill yourself if you don't get that in check. You can, make decisions through your thoughts that can override everything. So
Yeah.
that's sort of up the top, which is, he's sort of figured out the totem pole is like a whole nother thing, but
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I can remember someone say once that you can only have one thought at a time.
yeah.
And usually if you feel a certain way, like I feel happy, the thought that I would have at that time is like a positive or a happy one. And when I feel very bad then the thought I have at that time is usually a bad one.
Yep.
So I see then now where then if I would have anxiety about something, it's usually when I'm thinking about a certain thing,
Yeah.
especially if there's a deadline or there is something.
Yep.
And then I see it because thinking is one of the 6 core principles.
Yeah.
It comes because it starts sort of there then as well, right?
Yeah. So
To make a change.
if you're like always in fear and thinking like, oh, what if this happens? I mean, that could go wrong and this could go. The more you think those thoughts over and over, the more likely you are to attract that situation into your life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because
that's kind of
with from the CHEK perspective, with thinking, what do they teach?
So it gets a lot more in depth as you go. And like for me at my level now, like I said, I will usually see what their stress score is, and judging off that, I'll give them more like basically Qigong meditation style energy in type of exercises to just slow down, work on their breathing, calm the mind down. If I think they needed more help with the psychology kind of stuff, I would refer them out.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I can't
No.
be an expert at
No.
everything. I don't know
That
much,
makes
so-
sense. That makes sense. But it does make sense that if the thinking, there's something going on in thinking that if you focus on breathing, what you said, breathing, and focusing on the slow conscious movement, and your thinking changes, which would lead to different feeling of the body essentially, right?
Yeah, and then you start digesting because you're in a parasympathetic state. Your body feels safe enough to actually digest food and repair.
Yeah.
Goes a long way. Even just a simple meditation style exercise can really help. And most people are, like I said, burnt out or in survival mode because they're just going too hard. Yeah.
Man, isn't everyone just going too hard sometimes? It's
Yeah.
a big. What do you see is usually the biggest problem and with people coming in here?
I would say just stuck in that survival mode and sympathetic state where their body's almost bracing. So it's, oftentimes just slowly chipping away at these little health foundation principles, and then we work on their posture through movement and breathing and just teaching them a few practices, basically to get their body to feel safe enough to let go of the bracing pattern they have and allow them to start healing, and then we can start to build into sort of flexibility, stability, strength, power, whatever their goal is really. Everyone's very different with their goal.
So first it's understanding and then it's towards moving towards where you would like to go.
Yeah.
So if I were to embody more of the 6 principles of the CHEK, then I would start with, because how I understand it now from you, it's about becoming aware of yourself, but with the goal to have some sort of understanding on how my thinking, my eating, my breathing, my movements can all have an effect on the pain, the problems, the things that come into my life.
Yeah.
So by coming back to the basics of understanding that they're all connected, these 6, that there could be one in disalignment. So by focusing on the 6 of them and seeing like, which of these has been a bit wrong, and then just slow and steady start working myself towards a balanced sort of body, essentially, right?
Yeah, that'd be the easiest way. One thing I want to mention as well is don't go too crazy into it. Like that's one problem, I think. Like you want to have it like 80-20. So like still have fun, go eat some ice cream. Like,
Yeah.
I think I have some clients who are like, I'm doing the breathing, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing this, I'm eating organic, I'm having all these supplements, I'm doing all the things. And like, they're just so stressed about trying to be so healthy that it's almost too much of a stressor. So that's one thing I'd say.
It makes sense.
I still eat shit food sometimes. Like you gotta have that little bit of balance there too.
So
otherwise it's just,
because in essence, the biggest problem is like a stress in a moment when you don't need it, right?
exactly. Yeah. There's good types of stress.
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
but yeah,
Can you tell me about these good types of stress and what you want to say?
exercising,
Yeah.
that's a stressor on the body. You're breaking down tissue, and then you get stronger and hopefully don't get injured at jiu-jitsu.
It's true.
But you have to have the anabolic rebound. So working out at the gym or like rolling hard jiu-jitsu, it's catabolic tissue destructive. And then you have to make sure you get that anabolic rebound. So that's sleep, eat some good food, make sure you get enough water, let the body rest and repair and grow stronger. And then, that's where the balance comes in again. Yeah.
And the focus where you said like you gave that scenario that someone went all in, but what was the problem that they would have then?
So when they try, like they're doing it out of fear. That's the problem. So they're like, I'm doing all the right things, going to yoga, I'm doing my breathing every morning, I'm eating the right foods, I'm having these supplements for this, and this. Like they've done it all, and they're like, I don't know what's going on, and I'm like, just chill out. Like, because they're doing it out of fear of I'm going to get sick and get a disease. So if it's coming from that place, like if you sit down to meditate, but you're doing it because you're like, oh, I better meditate so I'm healthier. Like, don't even bother. Like, you know what I mean? Do it to just be at peace. Like, you're not trying to get something out of meditation, if that makes sense.
What is the goal then for meditation?
To try and become peaceful, I guess. I don't know. Like, there is no goal really. It's like, for some people, I'll give them that to slow the mind down when it's racing too much. But if you're going into it in like you're like, oh, it's going to save me. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like, just let your body relax and breathe.
Present.
Don't
breathe. What
think
do you
about it.
when you recommend meditation to someone? Because most people, like when I heard it, I've heard it many times, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But when I started looking at it from a different perspective, I was like, oh yeah, this makes so much sense. So how would you explain it to someone that doesn't know really what it is? And
so I don't really do still seated meditation. Like that's the other thing. There's so many forms of meditation. You just need to find the right one for someone. So it can be just going for a slow walk and just breathing, going for a walk in nature. That's meditation. So it doesn't have to be sitting there like this.
Yeah.
We have zone exercises that Paul created, which is really slow exercises that you do with your breathing. And there's lots of different ones, but moving through a certain area with your breath. So it's like a gentle moving meditation. There's Qigong, which is sort of this similar thing. So the way I'd explain it to someone depends on the person. If they're like fitness person who wants to train really hard all the time, I wouldn't call it meditation. I would say, let's do this zone exercise. So they're like, okay, it's still an exercise. I'm like, it's just like, talk about how good the breathing is for them and try and like lure them in that way, I guess.
That makes sense.
And then they're getting that energy in repair state, but they're still moving and
they still get the benefit, but they don't have the predetermined judgment for a thing that we always, like I do that as well sometimes when I don't fully understand something. I get into it too quick. But I really appreciate for like saying everything. And thank you for being on the podcast, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If you guys have any questions for Tom, please put them in the comments. And Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you for having you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.